Come to Daddy, directed by Ant Timpson, starring Elijah Wood, Stephen McHattie, and Garfield Wilson. A man in his 30s travels to a remote cabin to reconnect with his estranged father. There was a lot of buzz coming out of Fright Fest for Come to Daddy, and I've been really excited about seeing this film. Not only does it star Elijah Wood, who I always enjoy in horror films especially, but it's also directed by Ant Timpson, who is a producer on films such as Housebound and The ABCs of Death. Housebound especially is a really funny horror comedy. And with Come to Daddy, it definitely has that comedy aspect. It's more on the darker side. It gets pretty brutal at times. I really enjoyed how weird and out there this film is. Stephen McHattie is also in this film. He starred in the film Pontypool, which I highly recommend checking out. He is such a dick in this movie, and he's so good at playing a total asshole. I really dug the cinematography and the use of light in this film. I also really dug the location of this film. It's very unique, and especially the house. Norval, who's played by Elijah Wood, mentioned at the beginning of the film that it reminds him of a flying saucer from the 1960s, and it definitely looks like that. It's very quirky, just like this film. I also really like the performances. Everyone in this film puts in a great performance, from the leads to the supporting cast. No one feels miscast. I watched this twice, and on a second viewing, the film was even better. This film threw me for a loop. I thought I knew where it was headed, and then it threw a curveball. And then I had an idea of where it was headed from there, and then another curveball was thrown. I'm being very vague in this review because I feel like you need to go into this film as blind as possible. I also really dug the practical effects. They're very minimal, but they're effective, and there is some brutal scenes in this film. I also found this movie to be really funny. There's a lot of points where I was cracking up, and even on a second watch, I was still cracking up at the same scenes. It's really well written, it's really well paced. I really like the characters in this film, and Elijah Wood just sells his character so much as Norval. For me, this is an add to the collection. I'd recommend this to folks that are into quirky horror films, that tend to gravitate more towards indie horror films. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys next time.